Okay, just a minute as I present. Yeah, so if you're able to see anything like my screen, I hope you be kind enough to thumbs up. But here it is. Now we're talking about data storytelling. Okay, we are talking about data. So I'm presenting, so I'll not be able to see whoever has done anything raise up their hands or something. So Brian, you'll also be checking so that somebody doesn't put up their hand for too long in terms of a question. But I want to pose a question. I put this picture here on purpose, and somebody will just tell me what they can see from this photo. Leave alone the data storytelling bit. Those ones we'll talk about later. But this photo that we have around here, there's this beautiful lady, uh, lady or a child, or maybe a girl, beautiful girl over here. And there are some things that are sprayed on the floor. Or maybe I'm giving you too much information. That is TMI. What can you understand from this photo? Maybe what can you say out of this photo? Let me pick somebody. Uh, Weston, Weston. There's Weston. So Weston, what can you tell us about this photo? What are you seeing?
Okay, I can see a girl, a small girl, small baby girl.
Uh-huh. Anybody else who may add some cute descriptions to whatever it is that they were seeing? Nick Mwenda.
The small girl looks like she was playing with flour, and by the looks, she was busted.
By the looks, yeah, she was busted. Somebody else. Let me go two more people. I need a lady. Let me see ladies who are here. I'm seeing. If your name sounds like your lady, Lucy Wanjiru, Lucy Njiru. I'm seeing Lucy Njiru and Lilian Chamwama. Lucy Njiru, you can go ahead and give us a story. Lucy Njiru. Ama Chamwama.
Chamwama here.
Yeah.
I can see a little girl
Uh-huh.
having fun, messing up all over. Of course, playing with the mama's flour. As someone has said, she's been busted. For her, she's having fun, but I can imagine how much the mother is yelling behind the scenes.
Yeah. You can see how some sauce has been added to the story that is here. Of course, what everybody will just be seeing is that I'm seeing a girl and I'm seeing a flower. Full stop. Somebody might just add, probably I think this girl was playing with some flower. The mama is yelling. Of course, you cannot see the yells. Somebody else talked about being busted, but by the look of things, being that the girl is a little bit jovial, unless, yeah, there are some kids that really doesn't fear any repercussions. So whether you bust them, they'll be there laughing, thinking everything is all right. But what I mean is that this photo doesn't really represent anything, but what it might be representing is the fact that when telling somebody about something, there needs to be some sort of a story or a source to it. Yeah. Apart from just seeing maybe a number, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Does these numbers really make sense? But can I represent these numbers in a way that entices somebody? Yeah. The more source you add to this story or maybe to this picture, the more interesting I would really want to hear it. You'll hear those literature teachers in high school. And they ask you, describe to us maybe this poem and things like that, and somebody will really think of awkward things. The persona is maybe crying about um, his lost love, something of that sort. I mean, just allowing your mind to roam around and think of the crazy things that you may want to think of. But now, data storytelling again, data exists in many forms. Yeah, data is not just about numbers. And right now, when we are in the digital era, there are so many sources of data, or maybe forms of data. A video is a form of data, right? It doesn't really have to be just data doesn't really have to be in form of numbers only, but it comes in or maybe in Excel sheets, yeah, but it comes in other forms. For example, text. We can have images, like we can even have scenes and many other ways in which data can exist. Yeah, and again, there's somebody who might be asking himself, what is this data and what is this forms of data? Yeah, somebody can give us an example of data that you know of. Any data that you can think of, because we might be talking about data and somebody doesn't understand what data is. Yeah, let's have an interactive session. It's not really a teaching kind of. Yeah. Lillian, I'm seeing your microphone is on.
Yeah, we can think about the population census data.
Population census data. Somebody else? Ezekiel Omagwa. Ezekiel?
Yes, maybe number of hours spent in a certain activity.
Yeah, number of hours spent in a certain activity. How many times have you spent maybe sleeping and things like that? Or how many hours have you spent sleeping, or maybe how many times have you yawned during the day? Yeah, or even during the class, you are having a biochemistry double class, or maybe 3 hour class, and it's really getting tough. How many times have you yawned during that class? Or Mr. Ananda is there teaching you people, and you don't feel like the lesson is becoming interesting anymore. I mean, there are different, there are simple forms of data that you can think of, or what makes you have an informed decision that today I'm not going to maybe eat shawarma at night or maybe in the evening. Yeah, it's probably maybe you ate it yesterday. So, in some sort of a way, you have been keeping track of what you've been eating during the week. So, today I'm not taking fish because I took it on Monday, or maybe I'm not taking kienyeji because, yeah, for the better part of last week, I ate too many kienyeji's. Yeah, I mean, so you can tend to think of simple forms of data, right? At what time do I wake up? And what informs me to wake up at that time? I'm supposed to be waking up maybe every day at 9 a.m. But today I decide that I'm going to wake up at 6. It's probably because you've envisioned that tomorrow you're going to have a really long day in terms of activities that you're supposed to do. Yeah. You are keeping track of that. There are people nowadays who keep track of maybe the number of steps that they do make. That is data. Yeah, you're trying to see. Yeah, yesterday I walked 800 steps. Today I've walked 500 steps. And then you ask yourself, why is it that yesterday I was at 800? But again, now you realize that you were roaming around CBD yesterday. Today you are maybe just around mtaa tu uko tu hapo Runda, things like that. So you can really take track of of everything that you're doing, but those are just little forms of data, so that you can even find an aggregate of the number of steps that you've done in a month. That is forms of data. Yeah, so data really exists in so many different ways. Yeah, you are trying to do a detox on the number of hours you're spending on social media. Yeah, you probably tracked it last week and realized that on average, a whole day you're taking 6 hours, or 6 hours total in social media for maybe since morning up to Gioni. Yeah, now you're on a detox. you're starting to check. Maybe yesterday I spent just 1 hour. Today I'm gonna spend 50 minutes. Yeah. So that is tracking your data. But again, now once this data has been collected, now you want to analyze it. Yeah. And now you want to present it in a way that really makes sense to somebody. That is now where we bring in the bit of data storytelling. Yeah. Yeah. So that again your story doesn't, or maybe your analysis doesn't become boring. Put in some elements of telling a story. You are not literally writing a story, but when somebody looks at your data and how organized your dashboard is, or maybe how organized your analysis is, then they are able to find maybe this thing interactive, right? Yeah. So data storytelling, again, that is just you're using data to convey a message. Yeah. So you're bringing in your data visualization with some sort of a narrative technique so that you can deliver insights in a compelling way. There are some kinds of analysis that if somebody just gives it to you, the first thing that your mind does is to, I'm really tired. Yeah, it's boring. We look at maybe some of the things that can cause your presentation or maybe your analytics to be really boring. But again, what is the importance of data visualization? Yeah, I mean, you have that data in an Excel sheet. Yeah. Now you need to visualize this data. So what is the importance of visualizing data? Yeah. Data in that numbers, it really doesn't make sense unless I can see it in graphs, I can see it in charts, I can see it in yeah, maps or any kind of visualization that you can use. Yeah, but again, it enhances. You can see it enhances understanding. Yeah, visuals makes that complex data easier to comprehend, leading to informed decision. Think of it that I have 1,000 or maybe even 100,000 rows of data in Excel, and somebody just puts it up to you that now have a look at that, and then I have maybe rows like not really rows, sorry, but variables. I have variables like even 20 or 30 variables. Yeah, and then somebody gives you that data in Excel spreadsheet. The first thing that you're going to be is like you can really not make anything out of that data. Yeah, because it is just in form of numbers. It's in form of numbers. It can be in form of words, whether it is qualitative or quantitative kind of data. Yeah, it's not easy to understand it the way it is unless somebody does some sort of an analysis. And when you do that analysis, now you're going to be choosing things like dashboards or visuals, yeah, to see your data, or even the global superstore data that you are given. The way it is that way, somebody gives it to you, there's nothing that you can really understand out of it unless an analysis is done. So the importance of data visualization basically is to ensure that you 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 are enhancing understanding. Yeah, you're making it easier for me to understand what is contained in that data. You also need to communicate through your data. Yeah, when you have maybe picked visuals that are clear to understand, you can really communicate insights to various people, to diverse audiences. There are people who doesn't really understand what data is, but when you present it in terms of visuals, yeah, I can really get it. And again, visuals really do stick in the minds of people. And what sticks more is when these visuals are accompanied by some sort of a story outline, right? Yeah, we are going to talk about that. But again, uh, data visualization helps in uh, effective or maybe facilitating communication. Another thing, there are so many reasons, or maybe there are so many importance of data visualization. Just pick some few. Um, you can have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, but there are those major ones that we are talking about here: enhancing understanding, facilitating communication, aiding in pattern recognition. Yeah, think of it that I have used a line chart. Yeah, or maybe I have yeah, think of it as a line chart or maybe a bar graph. So I can even do like a comparison to see what happens in Januaries. Yeah, maybe I have different data for 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, even 15. So I have done a bar chart, yeah, to maybe visualize this data. Then I want to see the patterns. Maybe in Januaries of 2011, let me see Januaries of 2012 and Januaries of 2013, 14. And then if you can tend to see some sort of a pattern. Maybe you're doing an analysis on purchases, yeah, and you'll really see that maybe in Januaries people are not enthusiastic about buying luxury products, right? Yeah, you may see that there is a certain pattern, or maybe you're doing similarly to maybe purchases, and maybe in December's you tend to see that there's high purchase of maybe wedding gowns if people are doing weddings on December, so maybe November towards December. Yeah, you may tend to see a certain pattern depending on whatever it is that you're trying to analyze, the kind of data you're trying to analyze. Yeah. So it aids in pattern recognition. So you can easily recognize that there's a certain pattern. Yeah. Or maybe during the rainy seasons, as the rainy seasons approaches, or maybe the cold seasons approaches, maybe towards June, July, August, right? People are now investing heavily on heavy clothing, yeah, and that is a pattern now you can recognize in terms of trends in purchases, yeah, or even trends in stocking. How these businesses that deal in such products trends in their stocking. Maybe when it gets to June, now they are stocking too much of maybe gumboots, heavy trench coats, sorry, or even jackets and yeah, because it's a certain period for baridi. But what I mean is, it is helping in for you to easily recognize a certain pattern. Yeah, yeah. What are some of the overview, or maybe the dashboard design principles? Yeah, there are so many principles again, but I'll just look at what are the basic ones. We have now clarity. Yeah, what does it mean to say clarity? Maybe you've seen that, but you can also define clarity in your own words. What does it mean to say clarity? Is there somebody with the name starting with C? So there's no C, so we go to D. Duncan Okello, we are talking about clarity. So as a dashboard design principle. So what can you make of that?
Clarity is making what I can say about clarity is making the data more clear, more understanding to the making the data more clear.
More clearer. Let's see, Hubert Moracha, what's your take on the same? Hubert, unmute.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
I think this making data more understandable to maybe the users, maybe for many purpose, maybe for analysis. Yeah.
Yeah, making it more understandable to the user. John Okello, what can you say about the same? John, you're on mute.
Hello, class. I'll also say my point and data clarity. It's having a clear data here that points out something clearly. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, clarity is just for you to ensure that, again, all those things that you people have said really make sense. But it's just to ensure that the information that you have is presented in a straightforward and comprehensible manner. Like, it isn't really complex for me to understand what you're saying. Yeah, even if I don't have any technical knowledge about the field that you are presenting to me about, but can you really present it in a manner that is I can easily understand? Yeah. When it comes to, let me say, about entrepreneurship, for those who are always pitching for, who are doing some technical stuff, they always find it difficult to relay in their information in a manner that a non-techie will really understand. Somebody comes to you then is talking about yeah, there's something that I wanted to talk about. I'm missing it. But yeah, when you have a, when you're talking about maybe some technical stuff and you have non-techies in the field and you're using some terms that they are not even able to understand, you find yourself running njia line kidogo. And again, this is also the same thing when you are trying to present your analysis. Yeah, always ensure that the analysis that you or maybe the dashboard that you are presenting is able to be understood by everybody, or maybe by the majority of the people. Majority can mean here 99.9% of the people. Yeah, yeah. So clarity. Then there is consistency. I'll also talk about consistency. So you are maintaining uniformity in design elements across the entire dashboard to ensure coherence. Yeah. And then accessibility, designing with inclusive features to ensure effective understanding of all users. Again, be clear, be consistent, be ensure that maybe there is accessibility in terms of your design. But now let's look at even clarity. There's this photo that I included here. I've tried to zoom in so you'll find that the words are sometimes the pixelation is reducing a little bit. Number one, clarity again is in terms of just how your dashboard appears. If you look at this dashboard, yeah, it's not a boring one kind of. You can check on the colors that has been used there. You can check also on the font size. You will also be able to see that. But again, we are having like a blue background and then a white one. Now imagine you are having a blue background and then you're having a dark blue for this 79. Yeah. We are also having here an orange one, and then now you insert here a pink one. A pink instead of this 2475 that is white, you are having it as a pink kind of. I mean, there are those colors that ladies are really good at this, but they always tell you that you are color. Is it color clashing or color crashing? Yeah, but that is it. You get the sense of what I'm saying. Yeah, if you step out to the you're going to maybe take a walk with a lady and then you put on some colors, they'll be like, no, that one doesn't really. So I think that is the same thing that you really need to bring in here when designing your dashboard, ladies. Yeah. But again, it's not exclusive to ladies. But clarity has to be seen in your dashboard, right? Yeah. Don't choose on boring colors. I'll give you an example of maybe something that I'm working on. I should not be presenting it, but yeah. So this is really easily, somebody can really see. Yeah, the colors are not boring. The first thing, if I look at it, the colors are also maybe inviting. Yeah, inviting for me to even just have a look at it. Consistency, I'll show you what consistency means with a certain dashboard that I have. But check on these ones. If you look at maybe these the visuals that has been used here, you can see this bar graph here, and you can even see this other one. Yeah. Look at the colors that have been used. If you check, there's this. I don't know if it's some sort of purple, but it's consistent in terms of, you can see it here, you can see it in this other design, you can see its elements here, you can also see it down here, right? If you talk about this a little bit bluish, but it is really not too far from the other colors that we have. So if you have this one, you can also see it being depicted in this first part. If you look at this one that looks purplish, you can see it's somewhere here. Yeah. If you talk about this one that looks like it's a little bit green, you can see it present somewhere here. You can see it present. So there is consistency in terms of the colors that you're using. If you go back to this one, you can see we have maintained this bluish for most part of it, right? You can see there's this bluish. You can see there's orange here. We also having this orange. If you have this green here, is it green? Yeah, something close to green. You're also seeing it somewhere here. Yeah, you can also see some elements of green here. Orange, we have it here. This to purple. I don't know if it's purple or bluish, but then we have it here. Yeah. So in this case, this person maintained just the use of 3 colors. But again, the background, he maintained it as some shades of white. You come back to this one, it's also some 3 colors, right? Background, black, and then none of that to white part. Get back to even this. You can see that we have variations of just 3 colors, right? Yeah, there's this to red, it looks like red, and then some sort of a green, and then there's a yellowish. Yeah, these other ones are just variations of these 3 colors, these parts. So clarity again is in terms of even like how do you choose the colors, and then do you maintain them? Don't pick maybe you want to use all the colors that are available in a dashboard, right? You want to choose like 10 colors. So this time I'm using red, the next time I'm using white, the next time I have a black within the same dashboard. That is what again makes your dashboard to be looking very busy. Yeah. So that is in terms of clarity, consistency. So clarity, clear, so for me to understand the information that you are presenting. Clarity will also be again, let me get it back. Clarity will also be again, you have titles for whatever it is that you are working on. So this is earning summary, tumewekewa hapo earning statistics, recent orders, we have them there, project overview, message, yeah, and you can see maybe this one is a client profile, yeah, schedule, have they scheduled some sort of a meeting or something, yeah. It is clear that you have headlines for everything that you want to cover, yeah. Recent orders, you can see all the recent orders. So clarity also is in terms of, are you giving titles to every visualization that you're doing, yeah. You can even see it here. This person also has some, this is my, I don't know what, summary or some sort, orders I'm seeing there, customer, price, product, yeah, and other things that are not seen there. But again, you can see the major things that we're talking about. Here, project Honeycomb, and you can see things there. But then there are titles for everything. So clarity again is in terms of, are you giving us, don't throw in visualization and then there is no title for them. Yeah. So that I'm struggling, what is this thing talking about? That is one thing that makes your visualization not to really be understood. Just on the point on clarity, let me show you something. Let me show you something here. Yeah, so this is a certain project, but when you look at this one, you can see there is some sort of consistencies in terms of the colors that I'm using for in this dashboard. So I'm maintaining some sort of a green, yeah. Top 5 items by sales, I'm maintaining some green. Not that maybe this top 5 you have it as black, this one utaiandika as yellow, hii umekuja umeandika as purple, customer category hii umekuja umeandika in a certain way, right? It really doesn't make your nini to be understood. Year to date number of orders, you can see that all these ones at the top here, they are having some sort of an orange. These cards up here. These ones, there is green that has now been maintained in all the nini. Background is not any white. Not that now I'm having a dark background here. In this one, I'm having a yellow background. This other one, I'm having a red background, right? So you can see there's consistency again in terms of the greens that I'm talking about and the backgrounds. You can see this one maintained for blue. This one also, the bluish has been maintained in almost all. These other ones, you can just see the green has been maintained in all even in the slices that I've done there, you can see that we've maintained it. Yeah. Similar thing. So consistencies again in terms of the colors that you're choosing. You can see the blue has been maintained in all instances. So consistency is in terms of your choice for colors, basically your choice of colors. Clarity is in terms of again enabling us to or maybe having titles for every visualization that you're doing. Choosing the right data, yeah, the right data for your dashboard. But again, I'll twist it in another way, choosing the right visual for your data, but we're going to speak about it here in this case. Yeah. You have to consider relevance, selecting data that directly relates to the dashboard's purpose and objectives. Reliability, ensure that the data is credible, accurate, and from reliable sources. Timeliness, again. I mean, these are just when dealing with data, you need to check on data that is relevant to whatever it is that you want to analyze, depending again on the audience that you're talking about or maybe going to talk to. Reliability of that data, you can confirm that this data has been picked from a certain source or something, right? Timeliness, again, you use most recent data and up-to-date data. So suppose maybe you're doing predictive, you want to predict stock prices, yeah, and you're using data up to, you've mined data and unataka kutumia. Of course, predictive analytics uses historical data, but again, you want to predict stock prices, yeah, maybe tomorrow, NSE tomorrow, and then unatumia data ya somewhere around 2010 or leave alone 2010, last year January, right? You're only using up to that time, portion of data up to that time. I mean, there's so many changes that has happened, and again, for stock prices unafaa kutumia very recent data, right? Yeah, this one just depends on the kind of analysis that you want to do and the kind of audience that you are talking to. Yeah, I mean, historical data, there is sometimes that it can be relevant to pick zenye zimekaa for quite a while, but again, they are for some things like predictive, like predicting the stock prices, that you cannot really rely on data that is really from way too far. But you want to predict a patient's resistance to a certain kind of disease, or maybe how prone he is to a certain kind of disease. Yeah, of course, you'll be using the health history and picking in data from way too far, provided that they have that sort of data. So their medical history you will really factor in. So selecting the appropriate visualization type. Yeah, there are so many tools, or maybe there are so many visualizations that you can use: bar charts, pie charts, line graphs. Let me just show you in Excel. I mean, for those who have worked with Excel, you know that Excel has so many kinds of tools, or maybe kinds of visuals that you can use. No, I don't have any data, but if you check here, of course, there are even like the box plots that you can do. There are even charts like bar charts. Yeah, the bar charts. Then you have maybe column charts, stacked column charts, vitu kama hizo. There are more about column charts that you can think of. So clustered column chart, one of them. You can have stacked column chart depending what you want to view. 100% column chart, 3D clustered. Yeah, these are tools that you can use, or maybe these are visuals that you can present. Line charts are also here, depending on what you're presenting. And even line charts are really appropriate for you to see trend over time, right? There are pie charts that we have here. There is bar charts that we are also having here. You can even have area charts. Yeah, scatter plot. You can also see how maybe X and Y is performing against each other. You can do a scatter plot there. Yeah, and so many of them. Tree maps are there. Box and Wixer is also here. Yeah, waterfall. There's a combo again. If you have a data, you can see it there. But what I mean is there are so many visuals that you can employ. When you get to something like Power BI and check on here, yeah, you can see there's stacked bar charts and all those area chart. You can see waterfall. There's a funnel, scatter, pie, donut, tree map. Yeah, you can also have just the normal maps. Yeah, the gauge is also there. Of course, these are just cards again. Even tables are also part of your the visuals that you can use. So there is need for you to select the appropriate visualization type. Not every visualization that you, or maybe not every visual that you are picking is going to be appropriate for a certain data. Yeah, there is one that is most appropriate. So it depends on what you're doing, what you're analyzing. So bar charts, for example, it's very ideal for comparing data across different categories or time periods. I gave you an example of maybe you have data for different months for maybe 3 or 4 years, yeah, and you want to compare data across those different categories or those different time periods. And now you want to see what is happening between January and yani in the Januaries of these months or in the Februaries of these months. Pie charts, for example, useful for illustrating the proportion or percentage of individual segments. So suppose maybe you have a variable like gender, male, female. Yeah, you can do a pie chart and then it shows you maybe it shows you the proportion of male as compared to the females. Yeah. Line graphs again, effective for showing changes in data over time or continuous data. Yeah, so suppose maybe umekuwa ukirecord data about the heights of somebody, the height of a person. Yeah, you can do a line. So maybe akizaliwa alikuwa this height, akiendelea alikuwa this height. Yeah, so you've been recording this for quite some time. So you can see that line chart. Or even the stock prices that we are talking about, you can just use a line graph to see the changes. Yeah. Scatter plot like something you can plot maybe a data of age versus height. Yeah. Or no, let me not talk about age versus height. Or maybe let's talk about height versus weight. Yeah. Height of somebody versus the weight, so that you see, is it that maybe as the height of some people increases, then their weight also goes up, right? Or even age versus weight, you can also see as the age increases, is it that maybe the weight goes up, or the more the age increases, the more their weight goes down. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are so many things that you can use, but again, you need to select the appropriate visualization type to see whatever it is that you're presenting. Designing an effective dashboard layout. Yeah, dashboard layout. So, for example, this is a dashboard layout, right? Uh, so how do you consider, or maybe how do you factor in that I need to have this upper due, like because somebody will really want to throw even this YTD number of orders, mtu anaweza itaka iweke hapa kwa kona, hii ingine arushe huku, hii ingine aweke huku kando and things like that. But if you check on this, the cards are in the same, yeah, zimewekwa in the same section. Then now hapo chini we have now the visuals that we want to see. Yeah, there can be slicers, for example. Let me show you another one, another thing, so that you see what I'm talking about, even slicers. Just a minute. How dashboards have been. Yeah, so you can even see maybe a slicer like this, date filter and things like that. Region has been added there. Oh, so that you don't have maybe slicers umezieka hapa kwa kona chini. Yeah, you can see there's also some sort of consistencies even with similar to what I had here. These are different projects altogether. Yeah, but you can see that there's a certain sort of layout for that I'm having. You can see there's the slicers zimewekwa hapo juu. right? And the cards are always up there. So how do you decide on how to 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 lay out your, or maybe how to arrange your dashboards? Yeah. So dashboard you can build using something like Excel. You can build using Tableau. You can build using Power BI that you're talking about. You can also do it using Looker Studio. There are so many visualization. So maybe there are visualization tools that you can use for building a dashboard. So basically, what we are talking about today is either you use Excel, you're using Tableau, or you're using Power BI to visualize your data. Yeah, so designing an effective dashboard layout. I've given you an examples of maybe some that I have done. So how do you choose that this one needs to be here, this one needs to be there, and this one needs to be, yeah, so that if somebody gets into your data, like it's, wow, this thing is really nice to have a look at. Yeah. Yeah. So engaging visuals, utilize visually appealing elements to capture and maintain attention. You can see that there is attention that has been maintained even with the dashboards that I've shown you in terms of the colors that has been chosen. Yeah, maintain the attention of somebody. There are colors that, okay, I've been seeing these consistencies with how maybe you have arranged this visual of yours. When he clicks to the next, maybe to the next dashboard, he is already expecting that there is a certain arrangement that is going to be maintained. Yeah, but how about if maybe in page number 1 you have a upside down kind of an arrangement, page number 2 umezieka clockwise, anti-clockwise, I mean how the cards are supposed to be appearing, so that somebody is actually confused that, hey, next time maybe I'm expecting vitu ziko inside out and upside down and vitu kama hizo, like I really don't know how this person is going to arrange the next page. Yeah, you can maintain attention by just the way you have arranged your dashboard, by the way. Functional arrangement, arrange data and visualizations in a logical and intuitive manner for ease of use. Sorry. Then white space utilization. Yeah. Now let me tell you what white space is now. You can see that between this and this other data, let me show you with this one. Yeah, between this visual here and this other visual here, there's some sort of a white space here. Yeah, there's this space. I mean, it is differentiating the card that you are having here, or maybe the visual that you are having here, and this one. Now imagine that I pull this so that nizieke hapo. Yeah, so that this one is overlapping with this one, with this other one. Like it doesn't really make it cool. Or umeunganisha this one and this. Yeah. So utilize what you call the white space. Yeah. The white space just to show a demarcation between the first and the second. Even these ones, you can see there are white spaces in between, so that it differentiates what you have here and what you have in this other side. So that is white space utilization. So this is also just part of how you can design an effective dashboard layout. Engaging visuals, arrange data and the visuals in a logical and intuitive manner, then white space utilization also ensure that you. But one of the things that is really key is how you arrange your visuals. When you arrange these visuals, it's really key. So that I don't have this line here, ingine naianza ikiwa katikati, ingine itakuwa hivi. I mean, yeah. Make it make sense for people to see what it is that you have done. Adding interactivity and drill down. Yeah, interactive filters. I've shown you filters even in the dashboards that I've presented to you. There are filters. For example, this is a date filter. So that if I want to see maybe the information for just today, or maybe just 20th only, I can filter in and go down to maybe just 20th. So the information that I'll be seeing here are for 20th. Yeah, because I've filtered around. This is another filter. Maybe this is another one company. This is another company. There's another company inside there. So maybe if I just want confine peke yake, I can click on confine. That is a filter. So what we are saying is that add functionalities like filter or slide. I mean, this filters is I'm using it to mean slicers. In Excel, also when you're doing your analytics, there's a slicer here. Yeah. So there's a slicer. So instead of just doing cards, there's a time you just add slicers. Maybe you have information for different, for yeah, even in that data that we are given to analyze, there were subcategories. Maybe there's office, there's an office there, kulikuwa na ingine, I don't know, furnitures and something else. Maybe think of it as office furnitures, and maybe yeah, there's something around corporate. Yeah, so you can do a slices of maybe these things so that somebody, I don't know whether that can work, that one cannot work because we don't have it. Let me see. Yeah, cut. But again, inserting slices to your data, if you have data here and then you add slices, do your analysis, somebody can just click on maybe office, only information the office, click on furnitures, we'll be able to see that. So that is part of adding filters or slices for interactivity. Somebody can now interact with your dashboard. If you have a date slicer, I can see maybe values for different dates at different times. If I have maybe slicers for regions, yeah. If you have slicers for regions, I can see what is happening in a certain region. For example, in this case, I have a region like maybe Central, Eastern. I want to see what is happening in Nyanza. I can click Nyanza there. So that is what you're saying, that instead of just bombarding people with visuals, ongeza hapo slicers so that they can interact with those things by themselves. Yeah. There's something called drill down. Drill down is more or less adding information on the background. Yeah. Information on the background. So saa zingine I'm just seeing yeah, I'm trying to rush because of time, but let me show you what maybe a drill down can be. We are almost concluding. And if I have any drill down here, let me click. Yeah, I don't have a drill down that I did here. I don't know if I can find it anywhere. Yeah, if you can see this one, there is a drill down that. So if I click here and turn on drill down and drill up, there are changes that is happening here. If I drill up again, yeah. So you can see this is 2024, the whole year. If I drill down, now it drills down to per month now. January, February, whatever. When I drill further down, it drills down to now per day. Per day. Yeah, every day of the month, I mean. If so, I can drill up again just to go back to the months that you're having, and drill back and go back to the years. So that is, you are adding more information on the background. Yeah. So the way it is this way, somebody might think that there's no other information that we can see. But when I turn on the drill down, I can drill down or I can drill up and see other information that I just threw in there. So drill down provide deeper layer of data for detailed analysis and insights. So drill down enables you to just hide some other information. Instead of creating another visual for it, I can just hide that information there. And when you are now presenting, you are able to tell people that, yeah, there's more to it. So best practices for storytelling with data, context driven. So link data to real world scenarios. Again, when presenting your data, even if it's a hypothetical situation, talk about examples that really resonate with people. Yeah. Yeah, you're talking to people who are in the health space and you're using a different data. Yeah, the speech or maybe the content of whatever it is that you're saying should also be able to be linked to what the audience are or maybe the space that the audience are in. If you're talking to teachers and then you are using terms and again that are really not resonating with them, it's not It's not. It doesn't make sense. I mean, emotional connection. When telling your story, weave stories that connect emotionally with the audience, enhancing engagement. Yeah. Nowadays, what they say, this is away from analysis, but what they say is that the best companies, or maybe the profitable companies, are those who are able to sell uh, feelings and not the product. Yeah, most companies nowadays do focus on selling to you the feeling and not the product. Yeah, Apple doesn't sell to you maybe all those the phones or nini nini, or maybe Mercedes doesn't sell you the car, but it sells you status. Yeah, so if somebody is having maybe a Mercedes Benz, I mean, any other car can go anywhere, but now if you have Mercedes and then you're rolling in the hood, somebody or maybe people or the person with that vehicle, kitu kama hiyo, is really feeling some sort of nimefika mahali, or you're putting on these smartwatches nowadays that are able to read in your data, for example, your health data, nini nini. The fact that umeivaa, you can tap on it, you can receive nini. I mean, you really bought status and not the product as such. So emotional connection. What I was saying is that while presenting your analytics, or maybe while talking about um, the results of your finding, find a way in which the story that you have behind that data is able to be connected emotionally to the audience that you are engaging with. Yeah, emotionally doesn't really mean that somebody must be crying. Yeah, I mean, find a way ya kuguza even their happy part, hypothalamus ikuwe very active, or maybe their painful part. Yeah. Clear takeaways. Ensure that the data story has clear insights and actionable conclusions. So while presenting your data, you just don't give me that, okay, this was the result of my analysis. When you're doing your project, you always write conclusions and recommendations. Yeah. So even when presenting your data, also give actionable insights. Yeah. So as a result of what I found with this data, this is what the company can do. This is what people in the health space can do, and blah blah blah. Conclusions and next steps. Yeah. When you are always done with building your dashboard, present it to somebody. Before maybe, I mean, I'm talking to somebody who might want to be a data analyst or a business analyst. Yeah. Before presenting your finding, go and talk to somebody, or maybe present this information to somebody. Yeah. So that they can give your review. Yeah. Check the dashboard's effectiveness in communicating the intended message. Yeah. Present it to a certain audience and then get just their feedback. Yeah. Seek opinions to improve and enhance the dashboard. And again, stay updated with new visualization techniques and incorporate them for better storytelling. Yeah, always be on the lookout. Don't use the ideas you learned in 2010 on how to present a dashboard. And you want to put it into people in this era of artificial intelligence and the likes. Yeah. Yeah, so for those who are building dashboards, who want to build dashboards, tafadhali, always ensure that you are updated with various techniques on how to present your story in a better way, or your data in a better way. But the main thing is, find a way in which you can get into the emotional part of the people. Emotional again doesn't really mean you have to cry. Sio lazima like you ignite mahali mtu akumbuke that niliwahi wachwa in 2019 and then they want to cry or something. But just it can either be like like the happy part inawakumbusha something of in the past. Yeah, happy, emotional, nostalgic, things like that. But the main thing is for you to capture an audience. Sometimes the audience can really be yawning when you're presenting. Yeah, it's because like there's no connection between you and them. Yeah, so your data, your dashboards should also be really clear in terms of ensuring that it engages the audience. It can engage the audience with the colors that you have chosen, or with the cards that you are using, with the consistency that you are having. So those are part of just ensuring that you you capture the audience. Yeah. That is my ranting. I think I've ranted for quite a while. Somebody else to rant by asking any question. Yes. Any question from anybody? Shekila Nganga or Nganga. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, any question from you?
Can you get the notes after?
Yeah, this is yeah, I'll share the PDF of that.
Okay, then.
Okay. Robert Waweru.
Yes.
Any question?
No.
So somebody is asking me, how do you upload data into Power BI? How do you upload data into Power BI? Let me. But basically, I wanted to show you the different thing. But basically, how you get your data is there's this one, get data. So you can get data from Excel workbook. You can get your data from the web, or you can even get your data from. Let me show you, from a folder on your on your PC. Yeah, you can get a text or .csv. These ones are still Excel data. You can even get from Excel database, or you can go through SharePoint folder. Yeah, there are so many ways. There is even Azure. That is also there. MySQL database is there. Through data flows. I mean, there are so many ways that you can get your data from. Hadoop is there. Yeah, Dataverse. There are so many of them. So many ways for you to get your very nice there. Azure Time Series Insights. So that is how you get your data. So you just click here on get data, or you can even click Excel workbook for you to get data from Excel workbook, or you can enter data through this, right? So if you click on Excel workbook, it will basically take you to whatever it is that you want to pick data from. Yeah. So that's how you get data from. You get data into Power BI. That is from. I got that question. Yeah. Any other question? Nick Mwenda, please remember to record if possible for later reference. Yeah. Okay. Any other question? If not, I beg to stop at that point and return the mic back to Brian Apollo. You can do any comment or any question on the chat so that we see what you have for us. But yeah, back to you, Brian.
Thank you so much, Boniface.